been a while since we've spoken. It's been a wee bit quiet at the Celtic and women's team in terms of the press for the first few months. Was that first few weeks of the year? Was that deliberate, just to keep your heads down and get a low profile and get things going?
Yeah, probably that was the reason. But yeah, we miss you guys, so hopefully going forward we are going to see you more often.
The way things are working out, Fran, is it now a matter of just getting the girls to enjoy their football? We're scoring a lot of goals now. We've obviously shown that we could beat both the Rangers and Glasgow City this season, and just really enjoy it, win the games, and see where it takes us to the end of the season.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly the perfect definition. Go game by game. We were very disappointed, extremely disappointed of the 2 points we dropped against Hibs in a game that we should put away way earlier. Conceding in the last minute in set plays, which is one of our strengths. It was very disappointed. So we tried to correct in terms of chances created and chances putting away. And I think the reaction from team, as always, been outstanding. 19 goals in the next 2 games. So the good thing about this team is every time we make a mistake, every time we fall, always we come back stronger, and we are mentally very strong. So right now, obviously, we got a big disadvantage in terms of trying to win the league. A smaller disadvantage in terms of trying to qualify for Champions League, and then we got Rangers in the next round of the Cup. Is go game by game, try to get the 3 points in every game, and on top of that, try to play at our best. I think the last 2 games, regardless of the opponent, we've been outstanding. The fluidity, the combination, the tempo has been outstanding. So that's the way. We always need, after breaks, you always need a couple of games to get to our peak. But right now, I'm delighted. The girls are training, are flying. So right now I can't wait for games to come, because I think the team is going to do very well. So game by game, and see, like last year, let's see where we are in the last months or couple of weeks of competition. But I really like how the girls are right now, and I think hopefully we'll see another outstanding game on Sunday against Hamilton.
How many goals can Charlie Wellings get this season?
Well, I don't know. So far, she has scored more goals than appearances, so that's outstanding. She needs to keep working hard. That's the good thing about Charlie. She does work very, very hard. She's a very humble player. She could have more goals, but she actually got many assists. For her, I think it's more important how many titles Celtic can win. If we can qualify for Champions League, if we can win another title this year, that's for her more important than how many goals she scored. But it's important for a striker, obviously, that score goals. But yeah, we are delighted with her, and as I say, we are delighted with the whole team. So the answer of this is, she only knows. It depends.
And last one from me, Fran. What about the goalkeeping situation? There was a bit of a mystery about that last week.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a mix. We're in pandemic times, and always is injuries and safety for players. And anyway, we always wanted to have a third choice keeper. Although our number 1, number 2 are outstanding. For me, some of the best goalkeepers is not best in the country. But we needed a third choice. It helped training, it helped team selection and the fight between them. And then, we found Anna, and I think, another very good goalkeeper, a great character. And that will just make more competition in goal. So, Anna will be now fighting for a position on the bench or for a position in the starting 11 with our other 2 girls. So, very good for us.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about the keepers, but I think you've covered that. One of the things you mentioned after the games at the weekend and the cup game was, after that disappointing result, having the goals scored by a sort of a spread of players across the squad. We've talked about Charlie Wellings and how she's kind of the key goal scorer, I guess, in most people's minds. But is encouraging the players to all look for goals, and is that something you work on in training and the way that you're setting up tactically?
Yeah, 100%. Normally, are Michael and David the one that cover specifically position-specific the positions, attacking on goal. It might be assist, the movement, fluidity. The 4th goal against Partick Thistle on the weekend was outstanding. Apart from Kelly Clark, every single player touched the ball. 1-2 touches, and then we end up scoring, attacking with both flanks. So that's type of the training we like to do. And then when we go into the final third, you saw how many movements Charlie did just to create, to open the interval, in the gap in between players, to somebody else to exploit. It was a fantastic goal. That is kind of a summary. So yeah, definitely we work. We know we cannot rely on one player to score goals. We lost many goals last season in terms of the players that left. They scored many goals, so we need to make sure our current players, can score goals, and goal scoring record of players is improving. Maria Gross scored in the last 2 games. Obviously, Craigie always scored last season, and again she's coming back to this good goal scoring form. So yeah, it's very important that goals come from everywhere. That also makes it more difficult to defend. It's easier to just man mark one player, but when you got 5 players to man mark, you cannot do that. So then it gives us a little advantage. And I think at this moment in time, we are played with so much creativity, so much fluidity, and we are so aggressive without the ball that we have the ball most of the time, and that really helped because they got so many opportunities to make runs, to try different passes, and so yeah, as I say before, I'm very happy the way the team is playing. I think we are playing some of our best football ever, and hopefully results carry on coming that way, and hopefully we can fight for more trophies this season. But we have to recognize that regardless of what happens, for us the season is going to be amazing anyway because we already lift a trophy, and we are still enjoying that.
Yeah, good. You just mentioned Maria there. I was going to ask about, she had a great performance on Sunday. She scored a couple of goals, and she's one of those players who we're kind of starting to notice a bit more. But as well, I mean, maybe it's her, but who would you say are those most improved players this season who are kind of starting to really bed into the team and cementing their place in that starting 11? Maybe some of the younger ones.
Yeah, I think, Claire, that answer changes every week. So this week I will tell you one, and next week we have to remember that these players are 17, 18, 19. It's the same with Tegan Bowie, the same with Rebecca McAllister. So one week they are flying, they have great performances. Then the next week maybe they are not so good because it's normal. They don't have the experience yet because they are very young. That's the good thing about us. We kind of give them chances when they are at training. They really train, all of them. They train very, very hard. When the quality show, then we try to utilize it on Sunday and play them. Sometimes you play them and they come off because it really didn't work as well. Sometimes they play the 90 minutes. Maria didn't play many 90 minutes this season, but now she's growing. Obviously, she's still only 18. She's a very young player who is living away from her country. So we have to understand that we cannot expect them to have top performances every week. It's almost impossible in a young player. Young players will make mistakes, and that's the way they learn. And we just get many of them, and we need to make sure they all get opportunities to show how good they are. But I have to say the whole staff and myself, we are very proud and very happy with their work rate and with their quality, and they are really helping the team.
Yeah, just quickly before I go as well, in terms of having people to pick for Sunday, have you got the whole squad available?
We do. Apart from Natalie Ross, everyone else is available. So it's a nightmare. It's 21 outfielders available, plus obviously 3 goalkeepers. So yeah.
Any news on Natalie's return at some point?
She joined for first time small-sided games. So we are very happy. That was kind of the last stage in her recovery. So she joined the small-sided games. She did very well. So yeah, we are hoping that we will see her very soon because obviously it's a very important player for us. We will have to start slow. It's a player that hasn't played for 11 months. So it's been a while, but yeah, it's an important player for us on the field, but also out of the field. So yeah, hopefully we will see her in a couple of weeks if we are lucky. If not, I don't want to put pressure on her because the most important thing is when she comes back, she doesn't get injured again. But yeah, obviously we are all looking forward to see her. But the rest are available, and that means the nightmare for me on Saturday is on.
So you've mentioned that you've got the full squad available to you at the weekend, obviously with Natalie aside. With Hamilton up next, they're sitting bottom of the league. What kind of game do you expect? And with that size of squad available, should we expect to see some squad rotation, particularly when considering some of the big games we've got coming up at the start of next month?
Yeah, I mean, as I said, Natasha, like for us, every game we don't say, okay, we are going to rest players because there are other games coming. Because if you don't play well or if we don't win against Hamilton, then all our GR goals are even more difficult. For us, every game is the most important game, and we train like that. So the squad will be decided by training this week, and already we have some positions that we know they are playing, and some are still for the taken, and the girls are still fighting for it. What I expect a tough game. You saw Glasgow City. They scored in the 88th minute. It was 0-0. Hamilton is a team that they are dangerous in the counter-attack, especially with Josie, who was our player. But they are well organized. They are aggressive. So the longer we are without scoring a goal, if we don't score early, we could get frustrated and it could be dangerous. So we need to start sharp. We need to start aggressive, like always, and try to play our fluidity football that we are showing, especially in the last two games. So we expect a tough game. Definitely, we won't underestimate them because of their position on the table. I think they are better than the position on the table. I think in the weekend, for example, they lost the game, but they were unlucky maybe with some of the key decisions. So definitely against a very good team like is Motherwell. So they are not to be underestimated, and I expect a tough game. And therefore we will pick the best team to try to win the game. But we always rotate. It's important that everyone got opportunities, but the opportunities come from the work you do during the week in training. Make sure you impress the coaches, and you are very likely to be on the starting 11.
Just on that starting 11, you mentioned post-match in your comments last week that there have been some comments or even criticism of playing players out of position. For example, Chloe Craig moving out to win back. But from your perspective, is it important that we've got this squad of players who can adapt and you can utilise in different positions as you need to throughout the season? For sure,
100%. It's very important. So we are not only, obviously we are Celtic, so we need to provide results. That's a fact. It comes with the badge. But we also, my job as manager is try to improve every single individual player. One of the best ways I know for improving a player is to get the player to experience what they face again. So if you're a striker and you don't know how to defend, for us it's not good enough because we press very, very aggressive, so you are actually the first defender. So sometimes you might play as a centre-back, for example, maybe in training. Why? Because you will know what type of shoulders dropping you need to react to, etc., etc. So you actually improve as a player. Plus, also we give you, in times of injuries or whatever, give these players this extra versatility. It helps them to get into the team, but it helps the team to, if you play one player always in the same position, if one day due to injuries you have to play out of that position, then it's clueless. So most of our players have played in at least two positions. But at the same time, obviously, we guide them, we help them, we tell them what attributes they got and why we think they could be good for this position. Everyone has told me, and not inside the club, but Craig is out of position. Well, every time she plays wing back, she always scores or assist, or so she's outstanding in terms of numbers from that position. But of course, she's a very good centre back as well. So yeah, for me, it's important that the players are. They take the mental block. You are a football player, and you are to help the team within the tactical sense of the team. And whatever position you play on the weekend, if you play there, is because we believe you can do very well there. Because there are other top players that are on the bench while you are playing there. So that means that you have some skills to play there.
You mentioned earlier how pleased you were, obviously, with his 19 goals in 2 games without conceding. But an interesting stat we saw was that there was actually 5 different nationalities on the score sheet against Partick Thistle, which is great. But how much does that speak to the recruitment that we've been able to do over the recent period, and what Celtic are doing in terms of women's football, that we're able to attract such good talent from all over the globe?
Yeah, that's fantastic. That change, obviously, the league has improved massively in the last two seasons. It's a much more professional league. The standards, the live cover that in TV, the job you do, guys, trying to provide this exposure to the women game, it has grown. So obviously players in the outside, the cup final was amazing day. With the mascots, with the face painting, all of this, it come out. So players are excited. So we get, I guess, every single manager in that league get the same. We get texts every single week from players that want to come. Some of them are good, some of them are not good enough. Some of them are. I am surprised that they want to come to Scotland. But yeah, for me, I think the players we recruit, some of them take a little bit longer, like the sample of Jacinta, struggled the first year until, different weather, but now she started to flourish to be the player that we sign. So that happened to some of the players that need to, new culture, new style of life. But yeah, for me, it's very good. It's not credit to even to the staff. It's credit to the whole club. The way we help them to settle, the way the players treat teammates. because they are so welcoming to different nationalities, and that make us all grow a little bit more. So yeah, I didn't know we have 5 different nationalities scoring, but it's quite good. I'm quite proud of that.